all have them, and we love them, but when it comes to books, we get annoyed. What I'm talking about is our non-bookish friends or non-bookish people. Now, my boyfriend does not read a lot, and I'm perfectly okay with this because he lets me rant and rave about all my feelings in the book, and I explain them to him, and I explain the plots and everything, and he tries to understand what I'm talking about. He goes and he tries to ask me about the plots to kind of get more answers. So he's interested, he's just not a big reader, which is totally fine. And I'm not talking about those people. I have some scenarios here that I wanted to talk about. So this video was inspired because yesterday, while I was on my personal Instagram, I saw a post from this girl who's my friends know because they went to high school with her, but she's like a really stupid person, and her job probably requires the minimum amount of intelligence ever. But I follow her on Instagram because she's kind of funny on Instagram, and she Instagrammed the Giver Quartet bind-up that you can easily find at any Books A Million store or Barnes & Noble. Underneath, the caption was, "I'm so excited about this find!" And I saw that and I literally was like, I had no words, and I just had to rant about it because this girl, do you not know that's what bookstores are for? Like, do you know that at a bookstore you can find books? Sure confused me. Who would have known? A bookstore? Can you find books there? I had no idea. What an awesome find. How I found this really common book. Or I take my non-bookish friends to a bookstore because I really want this book that just recently came out, or we just go to a bookstore because it's like a fun thing to do, and they're not excited. And I know it's not their fault because it's just not interesting to them, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that when I'm in a bookstore, I am the most eccentric, excited person in the whole entire world, and I go and I'm like, that was a good book, this was a good book, oh my gosh, I've seen this book everywhere, love this book, and nobody is excited with me, and it kind of bums me out because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I could spend forever in a day in a bookstore and I could be the happiest person ever. But these non-bookish friends are just not excited about books like I am. It makes me sad. So I'm reading. I am spotted reading this book that I'm really into. Usually I am not one to read in public for this specific reason. One time when I was reading the Divergent trilogy, this was back when it wasn't becoming a movie or anything, and someone would walk up to me and would be like, "Oh, what you reading?" And I was like, "Oh, Divergent, this really awesome book." And they're like, "Oh, what's it about?" Oh, it's with this girl, and she's like in factions, and she chooses another faction, and it's really cool, like really hard to explain, but you gotta read it, it's really cool. And they're like,
"Is it like the Hunger Games?"
Now I'm like, no. Divergent is not like the Hunger Games. It may be in the same category, but two completely different worlds, two different ideas. The thing that happened most recently to me was, and you can go back and look in my showing books to non-bookish friends video, and so I picked up The Darkest Minds, reading it in public, and I'm asked, "Oh, what's The Darkest Minds about?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, these people, they go to their children and they go to these camps and they're separated in these categories, and mid-sentence, I'm interrupted by someone going,
"Oh, so it's Divergent."
And I'm like, it is not. Actually, it's nothing like Divergent. These people are maybe the same age as the people in Divergent, but their problems are pretty different.
People think that all dystopian novels are The Hunger Games or Divergent.
Also, when I'm reading a book and you come up and ask me, I will give you the best synopsis that I can to make you understand what this book is about without it sounding weird.
Hey, what you reading? Oh, it's just one day. It's by Gail Forman, one of my favorite authors. It's about this girl who goes on a tour and she meets this guy and then they have a day in Paris and they then get separated and it's about her journey through growth and it's just an amazing book and you gotta pick it up. You gotta pick it up. It's really, really good. Well, I wasn't listening. Sorry. Can you, see you later.
Why did I explain the book to you if you didn't even listen to what I was saying? Why would you ask what a book was about if you didn't care or didn't want to know? I don't care if you're asking just to be polite. Don't ask me to explain the book and take precious time out of my reading in order for me to explain the book that you don't even care about. Or you got those really hard to explain books?
Hey, what you reading? Oh, it's the Retribution of Mara Dyer. It's the third book in the trilogy, and it's like this girl has this really weird ability with all these other kids, but you kind of have to be wary, and it's like a genetic thing, and you just... sounds too complicated. I'm not going to read it.
Don't bash the book because it's hard to explain. When you have so many feels because a book ended with a cliffhanger or one of your favorite series has ended and you're trying to come to terms with this and you just cannot. And so you go to your friends and you're like, can I explain this book to you? And they're like, oh yeah, sure, go for it. And I rant and rave about the ending of a book or a whole entire series and people are like, that makes no sense, that's really dumb. You know.
It's just a book.
I know, and I'm aware that it's just a book. But to me, it has real feelings. It's real to me. Why can't you just... Oh, my favorite is when I read a book and I recommend it to them.
So just finished this book, Game of Thrones. Oh my gosh, it's such a good book, and the feelings and everything, it's just such a shocking, and you really should go read the book, like, it's so good. Wait, Game of Thrones? Isn't that a TV show? Why would I read the book if it was a TV show first? Like, it's just a book based off a TV show. Why would I read it?
I understand that it was a TV show or a movie, or it still is, but just because it's a TV show doesn't mean you can't read the book. So that was the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more bookish videos. And I've been Courtney. You've been lovely. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!